Hello, I'm Song Yoju, a teacher at Gwanyang High School in Korea and the president of the Korean Association of Teachers of Media Literacy, practicing media education. I'm very pleased to meet with teachers who are teaching students in various countries in Africa through video. Korean students live in the midst of a variety of media and media contents. I guess students in Africa are similar. With digital transformation accelerating after COVID-19, teachers are deeply aware of the need for media literacy education. Today, I would like to explain about how to improve literacy skills across a variety of media through key concepts and key questions. The table of contents for today's lecture is 1. Entering, 2. Key concepts of media literacy, 3. Key questions of media literacy, 4. Social media era, a user's question. Have you ever seen the two media contents presented here? You may be familiar with the poster on the left. The image on the left is a poster of the movie Parasite, directed by Bong Joon-ho, who won the Cannes Film Festival in 2019 and the American Academy Awards for Best Picture in 2020. Do you remember the contents of the movie? Both movies and movie posters can be seen as media. These are all popular cultural media content created by the film production companies, and they are commercial media content. On the other hand, the public service advertisement on the right was made by the public institution as a public service advertisement to wear a mask to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 infectious disease. These media contents have different authors, purpose, format, and message. Like this, many of the media we encounter in our daily lives have different characteristics and contents. However, we can find common basic principles from the perspective of media literacy education. Let me introduce you to the basic principles that can be commonly applied to the media literacy curriculum that interprets, accepts, produces, and creates a variety of media text. The basic principle is called the key concept. The 5 key concepts organized by Elizabeth Thoman are based on author, format, audience, message, and purpose. Education using key concepts aims to cultivate critical literacy about media. The concept was created based on the premise that the media does not reflect reality as it is, but represents reality. Let me give you a detailed overview of the 5 key concepts of Elizabeth Thoman. First, all media messages are organized by the author. Second, media messages are created using creative language or expression within their own rules. Third, even if the messages are the same, people or audiences experience and understand the same message differently. Fourth, media messages have specific values and perspectives. Fifth, the media message was intended. Most are made for economic, political gain, or power. The above key concepts can be transformed into questions and used in class. You can follow these key questions to analyze media texts and organize classes to create media texts. Here, we're going to show you the questions from each side of the consumer and producer, and going to show you a simple analysis case from the consumer side. First of all, the 5 questions that you can ask from the consumer side are: 1. Who made this message? 2. What creative techniques did this message use to get my attention? 3. How do people understand messages differently? 4. What values, lifestyle, and perspectives are reflected or omitted in this message? 5. Why was this message sent? And as a sub-questions of these 5 questions, you can add more detailed questions to organize the class. We will analyze the public service advertisement shown at the beginning of the lecture by following the key questions. 1. Who made this message? Questions can be identified by the logo, I Saw You, in the upper left corner. This logo is the official logo of the city of Seoul, making it possible to guess that this advertisement was produced by a public institution called Seoul City Hall. 2. This message used a creative technique of dividing the screen in half and presenting a contrasting picture when looking for the answers to the questions about what creative technique was used to get my attention. It contrasts the image of a healthy person wearing a splash mask on the left and a patient lying in a hospital intensive care unit wearing an oxygen mask on the right. Also, the color of the person's clothes contrasts with the color of the background. Also, the contrast between these colors shows bright and positive situations on the left, dark and health-threatening negative situations on the right. Finally, ask the audience about it by asking, which mask would you want to wear? At the top of the screen. 3. How do people understand messages differently? As for this, it would be nice to share your thoughts with the teachers who are watching this video. I wonder how teachers in countries with very different cultures from Korea understand. My guess is that the contrast between the left and right will not stand out for groups or people who are culturally negative about wearing a splash mask. Both could be taken as negative situations. 4. What values, lifestyles, and perspectives are reflected or omitted from this message? Reflect a new lifestyle of wearing masks due to the spread of COVID-19 infectious diseases. Why was this message sent can be identified by the letter in the box I marked below the advertisement. It can be seen that it's mandatory to wear masks everywhere in Seoul was distributed as a public service advertisement to inform public institutions of the implementation of COVID-19 related health policies. I hope that teachers can apply the analysis using the key questions to your daily media life and use it in class with students. Unlike the mass media era, it has become very easy for individuals to create simple media content using digital devices since the digital media era. So, the key question of media literacy education is, in addition to the consumer side, the producer's side should be equally important to educate students. Key questions from the perspective of production and producer are also based on 5 key concepts. 1. What am I making? 2. Does my message reflect an understanding of format, creativity, and technology? 3. Does my message cause different reactions to the audience? 4. Does the media content I create present my own values, lifestyles, and perspectives clearly and consistently? 5. Am I communicating effectively what I'm trying to say? We can ask questions in the production and making process about these questions. It will be useful to use it when you are doing activities with students to create media content in class. Finally, before we talk about the question of media users in the social media era, we need to explain more about media changes and the expansion of the concept of media literacy. As I mentioned for a moment in the key questions of production, in the mass media era, professional media organizations such as broadcasters and newspapers produce media and individuals are in the position of consumers. So the critical understanding ability of the media has to be at the center. However, with the development of digital media, the critical understanding of the media as well as the ability to access and produce media, became important. The ability to use computers was essential, and computer-based video production was activated. At this point in time, when smartphones and social media were developed, communication and sharing of advanced media literacy skills and social participation attitudes have been included as important sub-capabilities of media literacy. Social media has a great influence because information from unknown sources is quickly shared and spread, and it is also a media that can actively participate in society. So, in social media, media literacy has become closely related to citizenship, equipping students with relevant skills will be the content of the new media literacy education. There are some new questions that have emerged as the media changes in the era of social media. The image I introduce here is a social media user campaign conducted by UNESCO. Under the title, Think Before Sharing, we have 5 questions. 1. Who made it? 2. What is the source? 3. Where did it come from? 4. Why are you sharing this? 5. When was it published? These questions ask about the purpose of sharing, as well as the questions that help determine the truthfulness of information in the flood of information. Using social media, we share information very easily, and while its impact is huge, we don't reflect on why we share it. You need to ask why you want to share, in order to attack someone, to seek your political and economic interests, to seek their presence, to gain power. This is because this purpose should not harm others or undermine public values. With the development of social media, citizen participation and publicity are emphasized in the digital space. It would be nice to talk with students to spread a shared culture for public value and public good. Also, it would be good to create questions with students that change as the media changes. I hope this lecture will help many teachers understand and practice media literacy education. Thank you for listening to the lecture.